Alright, welcome to Mr. V's Sound Lab. Tonight in the Sound Lab we have some projects I actually completed a month ago and never bothered to film because I'm lazy. We have two more AliExpress pedals. This one is Fuzz number 1. Very creative name, by the way. And this is Distortion, DS number 1. This kit is built in the same vein that Overdrive number 1 and Delay number 1 that we already built, and you can find those videos too. In the same vein where the switch solders right onto the PCB, and that's kind of what holds the PCB in the machine. The pots for it are nice and small. It's still a pain in the butt to cram everything into the box, but it's not detrimental. DS-1 is a whole nother story. Distortion number 1 is an older circuit board that was originally, instead of a double throw triple pull type, it had a double throw double pull type switch. So instead of one with 9 pins on it, it would have one with 6 pins on it. So this switch has to be put in with wires. So that's 6 more wires, bigger pots. They did change it to smaller jacks, but and the instructions are a lot rougher. So this one was a lot more work. Overdrive kit number 3 that they also have is done in the same vein as Distortion kit number 1, and the soldering on Overdrive kit number 3 is so tiny. It is so easy to get bridges on those transistors. I'm actually having technical difficulty with mine, and I just got mad at it and put it away for a while to work on other projects. I've got some really major stuff in the can that we're working on. I know I just posted the rotary speaker a few days ago. I have a couple tube amps to work on, and I'm working on a monster vintage mixer. Okay, enough jazz. Our amp today is a PV Encore 65 that has a video up for it too. It's been fixed. And our power supply that's feeding our pedals is a Powerhouse V. I have not put this thing on film before, but it powers all my pedals. And there's a couple different versions of Powerhouse V. This one has 6 9-volt jacks and 2 12-volt jacks. So this will power 8 pedals. I do have other ones that'll do more. And my design of the Powerhouse V is completely scalable. It's very, very regulated, and it will power much heavier draw pedals, stuff that actually has vacuum tubes in it. These, not the case. These will work with pretty much any wall wart you have. So we'll just do a generic riff. Our guitar today is a Rickenbacker, which is probably one of the least distorty guitars, and we have a nice clean sound. We'll start with Distortion number 1. I have the volume set at about unity. This one, this tone knob really does kind of sweep from a bassy tone to a trebly tone, so I kind of think that's a neutral tone. We'll start with some modest drive with this first. Helps if I hit all my chords right. And then we'll go to a strong drive here. I do like the sound of it. I did not have fun constructing it. I had fun listening to it when it was done, but I did not have fun constructing it. These knobs sit too high on the pots. It's just not a good kit. The circuit board's fine, but there's some other changes that I would love to see made. And we'll take the tone knob out, and you can hear it gets much more trebly. I find it gets kind of nasal, so, or we can take it all the way back. And it's a little underwater. So I think right about there is where it sounds the best. This is based on a very famous Japanese distortion pedal that is very highly modified, and there are many modified versions of the original out there, and there are many originals out there. So again, not knowing what these circuits are when you buy them, I had to do a little bit of analysis. But this pedal I like it a lot, but maybe I would have bought an original just because they're not that pricey. But again, 20 bucks and a lot of headache. This one, again, 20 bucks, not a lot of headache. This is an IC based fuzz pedal, and it's based on a very famous fuzz circuit that's been around in many different incarnations, all with the same name. Some of them built internationally and some of them built onshore. This is sort of the smallest version of it, and it's a very thick, saturated fuzz, very bassy, very rich, and a lot of sustain. If you notice, I have the sustain turned back, so I'll just give you one chord, give you the... So the guitar itself has some decent sustain, but let's listen to it with the fuzz. And just a gentle strum. Have a tone knob on here. The other is a volume. I'm trying to set these at unity so I'm not freaking my camera out. Take the tone up to where it would probably be nasal. And we can go all the way to underwater. Totally underwater. So that one kind of works in the middle. And then let's take the sustain. You can hear when I even get to the middle, it's screwed up. That's a pretty raucous fuzz pedal, and why would I do this to myself? I don't know. So, just gives you an idea how raucous this is. But this is the IC version of a very, very famous fuzz pedal. So based on what I've done so far from the AliExpress, the delay pedal, terrific, 20 bucks. Actually maybe it's like 22 bucks, 23, it doesn't matter. The overdrive #1, terrific, very famous circuit, sounds great, not tremendously expensive. It was like 20 bucks. 20 bucks for the fuzz, terrific circuit, straightforward build. Love this thing. This one, love the sound, don't like the build. So, rookies beware of this one. You're probably going to have to do some screw and glue. You can actually see a little bit of damage on the top of the knob. This was a modification I had to make to these knobs to get them to not stand off the board really far because of the pots they chose for here. But I'll continue to fiddle with these when I get bored. I like to build projects that are supposed to just be quick assembly. And when we get Distortion 3 together, we'll take a look at that. I actually binned, I did have an assembly video for these and I ended up binning it just because it wasn't that exciting. This one was filled with way too much cursing, and this was basically the equivalent of what we did with overdrive number 1. So if you're curious on how these assemble, just take a look at the delay and overdrive and you'll get an idea. The instruction set for this is pretty much the same as it is for the overdrive 1 that I did build on camera, and the delay 1, same type of instruction sheet. This one is ugly. It's got a picture of a circuit board that doesn't even relate to what you've got, and you have a list that says R2 is this value, R1 is this value, C1 is this value, so you're literally going through picking it apart. And there are a couple of pictures on the website to help you wire in the foot switch, but if you didn't go back to the website you wouldn't have found them, and a couple of them are inaccurate. It is just ugly, ugly, ugly. So if you really love the sound of that and you want to build that, that's fine, but this one, love it, love the build. These two that are handy, this one, love the sound, loved the build. This one, loved the sound, loved the build. This one, hated the build, liked the build, and the other case for the other one is laying around here somewhere, but it's still in pieces because the stupid board doesn't work and I'm troubleshooting it. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.